Hello. How are you doing today? Doreen Corba here. If you can see me on YouTube. Hello, Millionaire Mamas in the Making. I'm so happy to be with you all today. It's Christmas Eve. You're listening to this. I want to wish you and your family just the most beautiful holiday. And I hope that, you just appreciate spending time together. And for those of you who are grieving, my heart is with you. I get it. I get it on all levels. I'm going to be talking about grief a lot this year and telling you a lot more about my journey. And since, the last episode was all about that, there's going to be more coming. But I'm doing something really fun. I have been getting questions from you all. Some of you that listen are previous, colleagues and friends and people that I may have fallen out of touch with, but that I love very much. And you send me questions. And I got a really great question from an old colleague and friend who is in corporate, and she's a mama of three little ones just like me. And we were teammates, and I just loved her so much. Mike and I were at her wedding, and it was just really a great friendship. And she reached out to me and said, well, I've had an amazing marketing career. It's not fulfilling. And what I really like to do is open a food business, like healthy food delivery business in my area. I know it'd be really, really successful, but I need startup cash. Can you send me some websites and some information? And I have a lot to say about this. So I was like, I'm going to make this a podcast / YouTube because I have a lot to say about starting a new business and thinking that you need investors and thinking that you need other people to help you get up and running. So here it is. I want to start though by saying, if you have a question like this about your business, about your life, about your nervous system, whatever, send it to me because I may just make you a whole episode like this. And what I told my friend Laura is that this concept of to answer this question, it was going to help a lot of people. So instead of me just answering her, I was going to bring it to the podcast because if you are an entrepreneur, you are likely a multi-entrepreneur. Like we love businesses, and especially if you follow me, like I have 2 businesses. I've got my nonprofit and my for-profit business, and a nonprofit is a business, you guys. I still have a balance sheet. I still have bills to pay. And while we donate all of our time, there's still expenses in the business. There is still a business I have to grow. So in order to make the impact I want to make, the same is true for-profit business. So they're really not very different except for how they're taxed. That's it. So when it comes to wanting to start your own business and wanting to take the leap from corporate or from wherever you are, maybe you're coming out of, being a stay-at-home mom and you've got this beautiful business idea. What I want to tell you is congratulations. Welcome to, besides your children, like the greatest adventure of your life. I love it. I could not be more ecstatic when I hear people are leaving, from having bosses and becoming their own boss. It is natural and normal when you are not quite a business owner to not be used to talking about or playing with big financial numbers of your own. At this stage in my business, throwing 50K around is normal. But when I was starting out my own business, it was like, I don't even have $1,000 to spend, right? I could not wrap my head around what it was like to then, if just a few years later, be throwing money around, money comes in, money comes out. Like it's guaranteed. Money is not a problem. So here are some things if you're in this place as you enter the new year where you have a new business idea you want to launch, or you're new to business, or whatever, you want to launch a business. I want to tell you where you can get your own money. Because when you partner with someone, you are married to them. And people run businesses differently, just like people parent differently. This is why it took us all so long to find our soulmates, to find our wives and husbands. It is simply because it is not just the love of the business or love of each other that is going to make a marriage work. It really is a partnership. Are they going to be good parents? Are they healthy? Do they take care of themselves? Do they take care of their mental health? Do we have things in common? All the things you think about when are they kind? Like, do they have a relationship with their family? Things like that. All the things that you think about when you are looking for your life partner. I want you to be that serious when you're looking for a business partner. When you take someone else's money into your business, you have lost a bit of freedom, really. And it depends on how much money you need. Like if you're listening to this podcast, you likely don't need $1 million to start a business. Of course, there's investor capital for that. Yes, but still, I would interview them. I would do all of the things that I could do to make sure I knew that this marriage was going to be a good fit. Now, if you are going into partnership with the intention to build a business in a few years and sell it, great, but you still have to work with those people for a few years. Okay. So you're basically going from one environment where you're having to work with people to another environment where you have to work with people. The entrepreneurs that I coach typically go into business on their own. And depending on how much money you need, maybe it's $50K. She didn't tell me exactly how much money she needs, but let's just say I need $50K to get this thing up and running. Here's how you can find $50,000. You can borrow it from your 401k. And depending on your 401k, you can actually take a loan out from your 401k and pay yourself back. During COVID, again, I am not an accountant. This is just what I have personally done to build a business. You could take out from your 401k. I know during COVID, there was like a 3-year grace period where you could pay yourself back. You could take out from your 401k and not pay yourself back and know that you're going to turn this business into an empire, which is always the goal, right? Because if you're here, like this is not a side gig. I'm not talking side gig businesses. I'm talking about businesses that you know that are going to be profitable and fulfilling. Now you're either going to grow to sell or you're going to grow and grow and grow and grow because you're totally in love with it. You could get a business loan. You could take out, so you could borrow from 401k. You could get a business loan. You could get a PayPal loan. Like PayPal is like, can't give money away quick enough right now. You could borrow from your family savings. You could put it on credit cards. You could just take out a loan, period. That's not a business loan. I'm just thinking of all of the ways that I have like borrowed money so that I could turn my mission in life into a thriving, successful business. And my business, even though I've done all of these things, is now in no debt. Like, just because you take out money in the beginning doesn't mean you are forever going to be in debt. And who cares? Like, debt is neutral. Debt is not a problem, especially when you're running a business. Every single business has debt. Every single business, if you're in corporate, every single business that you've ever worked in and for has debt. Debt is very normal in the business world. Now, so much debt that it's crushing is not a good idea. So it depends on if you need $1 million and you don't have $1 million, fine. But if you're listening to this and you've got $1 million to start a business, why would you bring someone else in? Okay. If you are bringing someone else in because you want to, like you love them, maybe they have the intellectual property. That's another great reason to bring someone in. Or maybe they have the marketing, like they have a list or buyers, right? And you're like, oh, you have buyers. I have an idea. Let's go. You could absolutely do that. But know that you're splitting your profit And it is going to take you longer to get where you want to go when you're splitting your profit, especially if, you're going profit first. If you need this money, which I believe this friend does need this money because she's leaving corporate, she's leaving her successful salary. And I'm sure she wants to replace that. Like, that's my minimum. Like, I want all of you replacing your salaries with your own businesses ASAP, because I want you to prove to yourself that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I will literally teach you exactly how to do it. Like, that is like my joy in life. So there's lots of places that I want to expand your thinking as you're thinking about your new business. And once you have a business up and running, let's say this is your second business, you can borrow from business A to fund business B, right? Let's say you have investment properties. You can borrow from those to fund business B. So I want you to just think about circulating your funds and the belief you have in your ability to make this work and pay yourself back. This will be an unpopular opinion for many, but this is how I've become successful. It's how I've watched every single entrepreneur around me become successful. This is how, for those of us who have deep, deep belief in ourselves, we put it all on the line. Like, if we're going to bet on anything, we're going to bet on ourselves. Now, I do think it's important when you start a new business to have an LLC. So, or, taxes and S Corp, however you want to do it, so that, your family, your assets are protected. Another place you can get money are from stocks. You have money in the stock market. Stock market's not great right now, but okay. Right? Like, let's take the money and put it into good use. So, and you can start saving. So if you still have a full-time job and you need 50K and you get paid 10K a month, let's start putting away money every single month so you feel comfortable with a safety net. Even if you still decide to take out a loan, I still would do that if that was me, or borrow from my 401k, or, borrow somehow, or borrow from a family member. Like, is there money? You can always find money for things you want, you guys. We literally were just going to buy a puppy. And by the time this airs, I don't know, maybe we'll be seeing this puppy on our feed, but it's the sweetest, cutest puppy. And my heart hurts. I miss Harper. It's Christmas. It aches. Like, it hurts. I have a love to give, and our breeder is shutting down, and she has these last 3 puppies. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is our opportunity. Like, I trust her, know her, they're raised on a farm, all the things. And the cost of the puppy, shots, getting them the electric fence and getting them trained. I mean, it's probably like $7,000. I mean, I would say, let's just say it's going to be like $7,000. Plus they got to be on, the flea medicine and the tick medicine, and they're going to have their annual checkups. I mean, plus they have to get groomed. We have doodles. And so it's $7,000 up front. And then it's probably another few $1,000s a year, if all goes well, unless we have a sickly puppy. The point is, I was not sitting around thinking, oh, I've got $7,000 to spend. Where should I spend that? Right? No, I had a deep desire. I had a calling. And then it kind of it came into my awareness, and I quickly was like, oh, I could get the money from over here, right? There's always money to be found. There's always money to be found. Or, friends, manifest it. We're going to talk a lot about manifesting in this next year. That's another thing that I have done my whole life, and that the nervous system work has helped accelerate for me. But you can also manifest it, right? Like, just be real clear. I need $7,000 for a puppy. Go. So I want to offer to you that I have always found money when I need it, because I truly have a belief that the universe is always supporting me, that I am always supported by the universe. I have never been without a time. I can't think of a time in my life where financially the universe has just been like, you're on your own. So I want to really offer to you, if it's a number that makes you uncomfortable, I'm using 50K because I'm guessing that number does not make me uncomfortable. But it would have in the beginning of my business. So if that number feels uncomfortable, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that it feels uncomfortable. But before you go bringing in people to your baby, AKA your business, I really want you to see if you can really make this just yours. Because when it's just yours, you get to operate it the way you want to. You get to do what you want to. You get to market the way you want to. You get to sell the way you want to. You get to invest the way you want to. Again, you're going to be investing company money. Do you want to have to pass that by someone else every single time? Oh my God, no, I could not imagine. So look around. I don't care if you have to piecemeal the money together. This is what people do to pay for coaching all of the time. This is what I have done to pay for coaching. Piecemeal it together. And I always get a return on my investment because that's just who I am. I've decided in like my spirit that I am just a woman that 10X's every investment, and that includes any loan, the beginning of a business, whatever. Just become that woman, that girl that just 10X's every investment, period, amen. So these are my very candid thoughts on Christy about starting a business, starting a new business, starting a second business. And the only caveat I will say is, unless you're partnering with someone who has something you need that's not financial, like a list, like intellectual property, like they have a piece that you don't have, because money is just, it can be found, it can be manifested, it can be earned. That is not scary. I mean, it is scary for you, but you could always make more money, right? And so, especially if you want this to be your baby, your pride and joy. All right, my friends, I hope you have the most beautiful holiday. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And if you are thinking about launching a new business, or you have recently, I want to hear your biggest takeaway. Leave it on a review. I really, really, really would love to hear, your thoughts on this. And if we're not following each other on Instagram, let's be sure to do that. It's at Coach Corba. All right, my loves. Merry Christmas. Bye.